Hey guys, so I know I come live every Monday, 8:30, just about, giving you guys some golden nuggets of information when it comes to chronic health issues, because I know we have IBS, we've got that diarrhea, the constipation, the mixed, maybe the acid reflux, or the autoimmune disease, or perhaps, the anxiety, the waking, the fatigue, all of it just in a mess. And we need answers, and we're all searching for answers, and I want to give you guys those answers. But tonight I wanted to switch it up, and I wanted to show you something I'm creating. Now, there's no specific recipe. I'll be honest, I am just winging this right now, which I usually do when I bake and when I cook. But there are so many different ingredients that you guys can use, and I'm making a lemon lavender cake. Okay, so I have hemp milk. So I know a lot of us sometimes find alternative milks. This one's from Trader Joe's, if you guys can see that. But it's a great milk, and it's just from hemp. No nuts. It is a seed, but we've got the seeds. Now, of course, there's always the almond milk, right? So I've got some almond milk and some hemp milk with some lavender flowers. And the lavender flowers, telling you guys all my secrets, right? I get from the Spice and Tea Exchange shop. If you guys don't know what this shop is, if you don't have it, go find it. Spice and Tea. Look for that. Because when you get the Spice and Tea Exchange shop in town, oh my goodness, your life has changed. There are just so many options, and they are clean ingredients too. Oh, and I do cook with Remy. I mean, I work for Disney. That's one of my side jobs, prepping diets for the animals or prepping diets for myself, right? But love Disney, work for Disney, and I love Ratatouille and Remy, and so he just kind of hangs out. You can't actually see him, but Emile is in the picture too. So thank you, Janelle. So warming up my milk, because I need the lavender flowers to give out their flavor. You can always, just like an herb, just like a spice, you can crush it too, and you can put the crushed lavender in, heck, whatever it might be. But I'll add a little bit more. When it comes to lavender, super soothing, right? But it's also an antifungal. People don't realize this. Very relaxing, great for female hormones. So if you can eat that, why not? So warming up my milk, I'm gonna let that work. And then we've got the flour. So if it's more paleo, you've got your cassava flour, you've got your arrowroot starch, maybe even plantain or banana flour, but that can be a lot of starch. And so I like to use coconut flour and almond flour. Pretty easy. Again, I am not working with a recipe, but I did make chocolate chip cookies a few days ago, and it actually worked out really well. So I'm gonna put some coconut flour in. Guys, if you ever use coconut flour, be very careful. It's not a one-to-one substitution when it comes to regular flour. It's very absorptive, and so if you use a lot, you'll basically have just mealy mush, and that's not really what we want when it comes to cake batter. So almond flour is what you want most of, if you can do nuts and seeds. Some people can't do nuts and seeds. They're not low on the inflammatory scale. Now with coconut flour, that's not a nut or a seed. So I'm gonna put my almond flour aside. So doing all my dry ingredients right now, right? With lemon, there's lemon extract, there's lemon essential oil, or I'm gonna bring you guys to my freezer. Here's a trick that my friend taught me. Thank you, Damien. Caitlin, Remy says hi. But there's a trick that my friend taught me, and it is called put your lemon and lime, let me grab this one, into the freezer. Make sure it's organic, because you're going to be zesting the zest, right? You're going to be, I can't think. Anyway, put it in the freezer, because whenever you want lemon, whenever you want lime zest, look, you just pull it from the freezer and you zest it. And I find that the best zester is the microblade. So not yet, but I am going to zest the lemon into, not the whole thing, but the lemon into the batter. So, hey, you get zest, you get juice, you get pulp, and it doesn't go bad, at least for a time, right? So, yeah, it's not bad yet. Some people use lemon essential oil that can be very strong. Maybe I'll use 1 or 2, bits of it. Another thing, so we've got our, well, I guess we need our coconut oil, your butter, your sugar, your flour, but we're talking paleo, we're talking keto. So let me turn you guys a little bit more here. So for sugar, oh, they're jumping out at me. Xylitol, monk fruit, I love these. Stevia is another option, so I'll put those in. And then I can do butter or ghee, right? Ghee is clarified butter. Doesn't have as many of the milk solids in it. So what I do is I combine them. Butter or ghee. Oh, Remy, we are falling. Or with coconut oil. Because let's get real, butter has wonderful flavor. And if you can do it, cook it. Cook with it. And I mean, butter, guys, it has a lot of different B vitamins. It has a lot of nutrients going for you. When it comes to dairy, if you can handle dairy, do it. And do full fat, do raw if you can, do organic especially. So butter is a great food to add. He's just crawling up my back. So what I'm gonna do with my lavender milk, right? Nice and hot, is I'm actually gonna combine that with my sugar, okay? So monk fruit, which actually has some natural antioxidants in it. So yay, sugar that has antioxidants and does not spike blood sugar. And then my xylitol. For those just popping in, I'm making lemon lavender cupcakes or cake. I haven't decided yet. So I'm gonna mix that in, right? And then, because it's gonna melt so fast, I'm gonna put the ghee in there, right? Beautiful yellow. Gorgeous, right? Beautiful. So we're gonna mix that in, gonna let that melt. I know I'm a bit backwards. And then coconut oil. Because I go through so much coconut oil, yes, I bought a gallon of coconut oil. Valeria, oh my goodness. There is not yet a recipe to follow. So while I'm cooking this, guys, I am going to be launching a group. It's going to be a monthly group program. It's going to be a maintenance program, but also you guys are going to get access to videos of me doing live DIYs when it comes to trying to find alternative recipes. So if that's something that you would like, if you would like some accountability, let me know and I will put you on the list for that. It's not yet launched, by the way, but it is coming. So this is a kind of a sneak peek. So lemon lavender, all right, so we've got the milk, we've got the oils in there. They are melting as we speak. And then I'm gonna crack the eggs. Now these are fun. I get my eggs locally. If you guys can get your eggs from a local farmer or a friend who has eggs in their kitchen, not in their kitchen, well, eventually in their kitchen, but out of their chicken, do it. These are duck eggs, which personally I like. And then you've got a variety of different colored chicken eggs, I mean, there are blues and greens. We've got browns, tans, whites. Duck eggs, I find, tend to be more of a translucent, whitish, greenish color, but they're larger. So just be careful because maybe it might be too much. So I'm actually gonna crack a duck egg into there. So we've got a duck egg, right? Beautiful. And then I'm gonna put a chicken egg in there as well. So here we go. All right. Okay, so it looks like the oil is melted. It looks like, I mean, nothing much is going on with the eggs right now, right? So we're gonna mix those in. Always make sure that you've got your eggs mixed in as well as you can, because if you mix hot liquids in, unless you're making a custard, and I mean even still, you could cook the eggs. You don't want to do that. So, I'm not a baker, but I do a lot of cooking. It's my favorite place in the house, guys. So this is going to be way too much, so I'm going to have to add a lot more flour. Now, remember what I said. You guys can see that. yeah, this is like gonna turn into pudding. Coconut flour, highly absorptive. So when you add coconut flour, it's not like white flour where you're just mixing, and then it's fully incorporated, and then you're done. Because what happens is it starts to absorb more and more and more, and what you thought was a perfect batter consistency goes. So you need to give it some time. So we're gonna mix that. And what I thought was maybe not that good is actually very good. Now, this would be great in a KitchenAid. This would be great with a whisk. I'm actually gonna grab my whisk, which is really purposed for making gravy. But because of the coconut flour, the consistency is actually really good. So I've got lavender in here, right? I've got the coconut oil. I'm gonna add some baking powder. I think, guys, just what happens is practice makes perfect. And so when you start to cook more, when you start to bake more, you'll look at a lot of recipes, and that's where you experiment. That's where you have fun, and you just start to understand the complexity of the food and the ingredients and how they go together. So I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of baking powder. All right, so I want some fluffiness going on. But actually, guys, the consistency is really great. And there's not an ounce of sugar in here. There's not an ounce of grain in here either. I can't say there's not an ounce of butter because there is, dairy, because there is ghee. So we're gonna try that. Ooh, okay. It's actually very sweet. And it could use something to kind of cut the sweetness. Lemon. So remember what I said about my secret about lemons? If you guys don't know, you've got to go back and you've got to watch the video, because this is probably on my top 10 list of hacks when it comes to the kitchen. And I think everyone should implement this because it's super easy. So we're gonna grate that, all right? Always best to keep the zester on the bowl, otherwise you might break your hand, and nobody wants to eat human skin. I know, sounds so appetizing, doesn't it? So probably gonna turn these into cupcakes because it is so late, and these will, cook much faster. And then I can turn this into breakfast. I can turn this into, a dessert and not feel bad after it. I know sugar tastes great, grain tastes great, all this tastes great, guys, but we need to make sure we're doing our bodies a good service and not disservice. If you're struggling with gut issues, I really encourage you to join my gut reset program. If you just need a quick sugar detox, just a jump start, I've got that for you too. But if you really need a full body workup, come talk to me, because there could be a lot of things that you're probably missing that you're not implementing. Food is medicine. And we want to eat how we want to feel. I know they say you are what you eat, but they're right. You really are what you eat. And we have different bugs inside our bodies that thrive off of good whole foods. And when our foods choices are poor and they don't involve a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, a lot of alternative options, which are starting to become more mainstream, then our bodies suffer. And, people don't realize that what you eat really can affect you, whether it's a chronic health issue, whether it's IBS, whether it's brain fog, whether it's brain degeneration. The foods we put in our bodies speak. It's knowledge. There are so many different compounds that benefit the body that we get from our foods. Now, I'm not saying our food, our soils are perfect, but they're a lot better than the boxed macaroni and cheese or the cupcake that we might find at, Disney restaurants or in the Disney bake shop. So it's just always important, everything in moderation, because we need to splurge on occasion. But overall, you want to be eating healthier foods. You want to find the alternative options, like your lemon lavender cake. And actually, so Travis and I got married about 5.5 years ago. Camellia. So I said the ingredients. Yes, this whole video, you can see the ingredients that I put in here. But Travis and I had a lemon lavender cake for our birthday. Amounts, I did not. That is something I'm working on, but I want to show you guys what it looks like to make a lemon lavender cake. But Travis and I, when we got married, we had a lemon lavender cake, and it was the best, like literally best cake we'd ever had. Not paleo, not keto, not sugar-free, not grain-free. It had everything, you know, that I can't be eating now, but it was great. And so, you know, we don't have to deprive ourselves. Like, we can still find alternative options. I know that looks so great, doesn't it? But it's batter. It's batter. It's not where it needs to be yet. So I'm going to turn this oven on. If you guys need a recipe, I will be working on a recipe and I will get that out to you. But right now, this is more of a cooking, baking recipe. And like I said, if you need more information, if you need help addressing your IBS, fatigue, weight gain, you know, if you want more information about the gut reset, 30-day gut reset, my next program starts in the beginning of May. If you're looking for really a whole body transformation, I can work with you on that. I've got a webinar coming up. It's a free webinar. Let me know if you'd be interested in that and I can get you guys some information. But then if you would like to know just basic recipes like this, if you want some DIYs, if you want some help with recipes catered to your dietary needs and some check-ins, some accountability, I will have a monthly program and I will be doing those lives where you can bring your questions. So all that being said, I'm gonna bake these cupcakes and I will be off for now. So this is Nicole Bergner. I'm a functional medicine health coach, also known as the gut detox coach, because I work with detoxifying the body and working on the gut and a functional medicine or root cause approach. And one of the ways we do that, guys, is through our diet. It's not the only thing. I wish it was. Many other avenues to explore. But I will get you the recipe once I nail that down. So I'll let you guys know how this turns out. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in and have a lovely evening.